I thought being constantly stressed was just my personality. It was like always swimming in stormy water. A common mistake is thinking, like I did, that constant stress is just how life is. The thing is, you're probably making real change 10 times harder than it needs to be. And I know that because I spent years trying every relaxation method I could find. Today in this video, I will share you the exact concept that changed everything for me because now I can regulate my nervous system with just 90% less effort. So, what is this concept? It's called the window of tolerance. So you can see the infographic here. So the window of tolerance comes from polyvagal theory and nervous system healing. The first thing you can see is inside the window, what we call inside the window of tolerance. That is a state where you feel safe, calm, present, connected, resourceful. I give you a list, but it depends a little bit on people. We all experience the state a little bit different. So it's a state of safety and social connection. I mean safety, enough safety. You cannot feel completely safe. It's more like a continuum of safety, but you feel safe enough to connect with other people, you feel just naturally resourceful. For a lot of people, they are more curious about life, things, culture, other people. Yes, there is stress. Yes, there are challenges. Of course, there are challenges, but it's more like, oh, that's interesting. That's a challenge. Or, oh, this is a challenge, but I can manage actually. I have the resources. So it's a lot about learning. It's a learning and growth vibe. Here, this is the inside of the window. When you go on the top of the window, you enter what we call hyperarousal. Some people call it the fight and flight state. Maybe that makes sense to you. Or we can say activation. I like activation because it is exactly how it feels. You feel activated because your body thinks that there is a threat, there is a danger. So what the body does is it's going to give you more energy to deal with the threat. So you are going to feel probably anxious, stressed, irritated, on edge, overwhelmed, restless. Again, it depends a bit on your nervous system, your experience. Maybe you're going to feel more anxious and I'm going to feel more like a little bit like on edge. I need to deal with everything very quickly and everyone is a problem and everything is a problem to solve. So it depends a little bit, but that's the overall idea. So in the infographic, you have first dysregulation and then hyperarousal. So it's just a difference between feeling a little bit activated and feeling completely activated. So when you're completely activated, for example, you might be very interested in creating conflicts. Or just to leave the space and just like be a little bit dramatic. That's hyper activated, and it's actually your body that is trying to look for a solution because your body is perceiving danger. It doesn't need to be a lion, it could be an email. Doesn't matter. Your nervous system works the same. Lion, email, same problem. So what your body might think is that there is something wrong and you need to act. Activation. I call it the to-do list crisis. It's the I don't have time. Everything needs to be perfect now, not in an hour, not in 2 days. I need to figure out everything. There is a problem to solve now. It's going to feel like you don't have enough time. When inside a window, usually we perceive time as just as a resource. So, for example, if you're dealing with a project and you are inside the window, it's going to feel like, yes, there are tasks, there are things to do, but you have the time to deal with. When you're activated, it's going to feel like you're running out of time because your body is activated. And that's very interesting when you think about it, because in the corporate world, most people are always running out of time, or at least feeling that they're running out of time. This is a state, this is a sign of hyperarousal. Okay, then you have the hypoarousal. So if you leave the window downward, you enter what we call the hyperarousal, or the shutdown state. It's a bit the opposite. Your body is going to feel tired, exhausted, numb, empty, disconnected, hopeless. Again, it depends a little bit on your experience, but for a lot of people, it's just a state of, I would like to say, hibernation. Your body is just, what is happening is your body perceived a threat. Again, could be an email. Try to deal with it by giving you more energy. Concluded that it didn't work, and now is just giving you another protective response to deal with the situation. And this one is a more primal response, and it's just like animals, they have this response and they fake their death. Like they're just like, they look like they're dead. They're just numb, empty. That's the response. So it's a protective state. You are going to feel like everything is too much. You're giving up. You're hopeless. And you're probably going to feel at least unmotivated. And if you reach the really hyperarousal, like really hypoarousal, sorry, you probably being unable to act, which is not really nice. Now, the key thing about this concept is that your window can either shrink or expand, and not everyone has the same window. And in your life, you're going to experience periods with a window of tolerance that is really comfortable, that is big, and period of time where your window of tolerance is going to be smaller. Why? Because our bodies change. Like they actually they are not all the time stable, and your nervous system is always adjusting to the environment and to your situation and your experiences. If your window of tolerance is smaller, it's going to be much harder to deal with challenges and stress, and anxiety is going to be a huge problem in your life. That's the key. That's the key information. So I said you can expand your window. So how do you do it? There are a lot of different things that expand your window. Basically everything that feels safe to you. So if you like painting and that's something that makes you feel safe, this is going to expand your window. But more generally, we could say that, for example, getting enough sleep, getting enough movement, enough time outside, high quality food, that you feel inspired, that you are surrounded by people who are supportive, big one, that you are around people that have a big window of tolerance, because we actually mimic other people. Our nervous system are constantly scanning the environment and other people. So if everyone around you is super activated, not good for you. If people around you are actually more or less inside the window of tolerance, it's going to help you like tremendously. And yeah, supportive social cycle, walking, nature, movement, somatics, nervous system regulation. These are all big yes when it comes to expanding the window. What shrinks your window is a little bit the opposite. So lack of sleep, lack of nourishing food, lack of movement. If you spend 10, 12 hours a day at your desk without movement, it's going to feel stressful. Your body is going to be like, this is a threat. This is actually a threat. You shouldn't spend 10 hours sitting in front of a computer. Emails that are urgent all the time, crazy deadlines, a boss that is super mean, people that are unhealthy, I would say, like kind of like, let's say, that are not supporting you or don't have your best interest in their head. Not good. But also more physical things like chronic pain, big one that shrink the window of tolerance. So as a woman, for example, during our periods, if we are in pain, this shrinks the window of tolerance. That's just the way it is. Okay, so now you're here. You understood a little bit about the window of tolerance. It can shrink, it can expand. Cool, cool, cool. Now, what are you going to do with this information? Big question. You want to expand your window of tolerance as much as possible. If you feel lost, if you don't know what the first step is, I invite you to check this other video that is going to appear on the screen because I share a 15-minute reset practice, nervous system reset practice. So it's all about somatic movements, processing a little bit your emotions, grounding yourself in your body. And this is a practice especially designed for nervous system regulation. And if you practice that often, not just once, but like maybe every day for a couple of weeks, your window of tolerance is going to expand. The key thing here is to remember that you are empowered, and at any time you can just help your window of tolerance expand. And if you see that during a period of time you don't handle stress anymore, or you are really nervous, please have compassion. Life happens, things happen. It doesn't mean it's going to be like this forever. Our nervous systems are super resilient, and you can work with the window of tolerance at any time and get like amazing result. Okay, so I leave you with the next video with the practice if that interests you, and I wish you a really beautiful day.